Okay. Mike V, happy Monday. Good power hour. More viewers. I'll be cleaner. I'll be better. Okay. VAL, gap and go. Let me take off my video here. Okay. Let me make sure that I'm on in the room. It would help if everybody was actually in the room instead of communicating on YouTube, but we're glad to have you anyway. What's another window for my 19 windows to have open at this point? No big deal. I'll be better. VAL, gap and go. That should be on all your scanners. Okay. Doesn't pull back. This is the rule. Doesn't pull back within the first usually half an hour of a stock that's maybe whatever it is. 10-15% gap and go. Same thing at LITE. If anybody ever needs help with any type of scanners, and by the way, if you don't have a scanner, you don't have a plan. You can't wait for the 9:30 to open and be like, oh, look at that. Look at that. Microsoft's Oracle bounced today. No good. Okay. I know every scanner from the best free scanners to one that costs you $500 a month that could literally tell you if it's raining in Cuba and the Dallas Cowboys score a touchdown, then buy GLW. So that doesn't mean it's going to work. All right, let's get back into it again. This being Monday, I would be remiss if we didn't take care of fundamentals. Yes, I understand everybody wants to get in there and play immediately. But even athletes, practice 60, 70 hours a week. The lifestyle to play sometimes a 1 hour game, collectively. All right. Communicating, everybody, thank you. For those that just want to follow equities, and I don't suggest this at all, but that just want to follow what I post, and I would suggest if you are going to do that, or if you should do that on a Sunday evening or a Monday night, because that's when I really post a lot of the data, meaning something that you don't want to keep scrolling up for 3 days before that, whatever, economic calendar, earnings, research that might be dynamic, or if you will, throughout the week. So for those not familiar, it's right here, Mike V Daily Comments. And once again, I started Sunday evening. So believe me, we have, I'm glad it's the other way, okay? Click images to enlarge. There's the chart on the cues. First thing I posted this morning, Peggy, what a range. Click images. There's the economic calendar. Okay, they're a catalyst this week. IBD top 50. Big. Okay, this is part of the reason why we're up big today. Do your own diligence, please. Jump in NASDAQ shorts. If anybody has any questions, and I'll go through it my own. Okay, this is what's moving. Best of the best. If anybody has any questions about any of the data, please ask. Most important thing is not to be redundant. Is anybody in here? This is what's moving. Best of the best. If anybody has any. Most important things to do in the room is scroll through your next trade is not going to change your life. But you know what? Scrolling up and going to YouTube, pardon me, and going to the TradeGateHub YouTube channel where you can be a part of 8,300 subscribers doing 2 videos. There we go. That's better. Hi, Sherry. Hope you had a nice weekend. Thanks for joining. And by the way, this has been a pretty volatile market, Miss Sherry. And you've been very resilient, meaning that, a lot of people, I know people going from looking at waterfront property to asking for a job in about a month. You know what I mean? And I'll pontificate for a second as I scroll through. There's a difference. No, I'm not going to pontificate. This is the one, Wolf. How about this? Throw this chart. Amazing. Okay, for those, you have to identify yourself with, what type of trader you are. Okay, Wolf is in play. All right, does it mean you buy 8,000 shares, walk away and say, I got it? No. Stock has a range from 1180 to 1650 in 2 trading days, probably 8 trading hours. But what this says to me, it's emblematic of market action, still bullish, if you will. The stock was always stronger than most, period. Go to the weekly, forget about it. So whatever type of trader you are, if you want to take, if you're looking to take money out, hold on, let me take off the video now. If you're looking to make money on it, maybe buy it from 3 o'clock now to 4 o'clock, and if you're upset if you're down 50 cents, maybe that's not the type. That's not the type of trade you should necessarily be putting on at this moment. Doesn't mean it can't keep going. You have to have a plan going forward. And certainly don't go all in, if you will. But those are the type of stocks that are moving. Okay, what about this thing? Best of breed. Okay, now you have this type of stock, Venezia, also going with light. This is taking calls. This is interesting. Jane, you might like this. Let's forget about that. We'll talk about it on something else later. About you should, if you don't have the break high list right now, then like I said, if you don't know what's going on, either you're a relative of mine and you're supporting me, or you're going to a gunfight with a knife. Morning, Lewis, I see it. Jane, you're good at these type of charts, taking calls. IBRX back in play, as Gordon Gekko would say. Okay. Be aware of earnings. You should be in TradeGateHub for that. Let me go through what's happening now and what we're going to do going forward. I'm on the record with this. You should have a TradeGateHub demo. And I'm telling you, there's a transport stock, a conglomerate. These guys are buying it big. I'm telling you. All I'm going to say. Calls. ETHA. Yes, they are buying it today. They're buying WPM calls. WPM calls. The old silver Wheaton, which is now Wheaton Precious Metals. Precious metals. Note the second word in that statement, metals. CoreWeave, some lunatic is buying it here, but that's fine. They're still buying it. ADM, they're buying a lot of these calls. ADM, what does that go with? Everybody, well, this looks nice. And then, by the way, they're buying other stuff intermittently. Don't get me wrong. And, sometimes it's hard to distinguish if they're buying an M or an S. By the way, they're buying the bottom on S here as well. IBRX good. Well, yeah, it does look good. Jane, thank you. That's your type of play. You're good at those charts. I might be in it too, but I haven't had time to disseminate it. That's why I'm asking your opinion. Get back to me. Oh, you did it already. Okay. ETHA, WTM, Core, ADM. What does that go with? Yeah, it goes with Moss. It goes with CF. They're hot. CF is hold on, look at this. A real trader buys CF Industries here. A real trader. But by the way, why did I say CF? Because ADM calls it they're buying. Big ones. Going out. Don't kill the messenger. What else are they going into? No, it's finally not Chevron for once. Exxon. And just in what? I don't know. You know what I mean? This feels like the opposite of, I'm not going to say, do I dare say it feels like a silver trade when everybody's hopping in from the Monday morning scramble with calls? I mean, really? I don't know about that. This seems like, this seems a little capitulatory to me, but they're in it and they're buying calls massively. And by the way, they're not buying this Friday's calls or ODTEs, whatever they call them. But that might be okay because maybe Exxon still goes up. But you know what they're also adding to, and so did I. And a suggestion, it's taking calls. It reminded me today, and the stock's OXY. And for those TGH members, you might be familiar with this in the past week or so, and you better be familiar with it going forward. Yes, it's got a little bit of work to do, but this is something almost like a freaking VFC of the oil sector. You turn around one day and all of a sudden it's up when the market goes down. Frog, they're buying this into earnings. Ugh, don't want to be wrong, the frog. And by the way, I saw, speaking of the animal sector, Pony was up today. Pony with the 3-day bouncer, speaking of the animals. But they can't take up the bull. Still can't take up the bull. And this is you know what? They got it a little bit. Oh, the bull bounced. Oh, the bull bounced. They got the bull up 3 days in a row. No problem. Again, I know people trust the data, but just let me tell you what I'm looking at. CoreWeave, June 26th. It's June 26th. I already feel like it's Friday. It's Monday afternoon. You know what can happen in June? But this guy says, okay, I'm going to put 1.2 million into CoreWeave calls above the ask. You know what that means? He doesn't care if he just wants in. And for months later, note it down. But there have been calls in CoreWeave. It's a heavily shorted situation. It's yet to prove itself. It's a funky thing. You get the picture. Everybody with me? Come on now. Nio at 6. Lewis. Lowe's Nio. But you know what? He's good at Nio. Lewis is good at Nio. He knows the stock. That's why I look and I don't get mad at him. But this one turned around all of a sudden when I was buying the bottom for 2 weeks. LI. Oh my God, this one hurts to look at. Oh, what else? There's God, it hurts to look at that ANPX. Yes, sir. Good one, Lewis. Good one, Lewis. Lewis has finally learned the easier look. That's beautiful, as a matter of fact. Matter of fact, it's going to get written down. Lewis. Yes, Lewis. AMPX. Correct. Well, above a base, above a gap, you draw the line. Boom. It's nice. Very nice. Does a stock price usually go down? Oh, does a stock price? No, it doesn't. No, it does not go down. Just because it has a dividend, no way. They used to be that way with stock splits too. No, it doesn't mean it's going to go down. BGS. BGS needs work. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And by the way, BGS should be down today. I have it. I have it in the fund. Yeah, there's BGS. If you okay, hold on a second. First of all, speaking of high dividends, is that why you guys asked? The only problem with BGS is it has a high dividend. But BGS is a food stock, taking huge calls, has it in it. There's the daily. It actually held above the 5 option price, which I thought it was going to go stick to. There's the weekly. Yeah, I still like it a lot. I do. And Kroger being up today helped. It's a food stock. Kroger, what a move there. Yeah, I'm in that, Jane. You know what I did? I have 3 major situations now. I have the fund and I have the trading account, what you see, and then I have an options account now. Now, I really want to have what, 200,000 BGS? Oh, is this on? Hold on. Oh, hold on. Let's say 100,000. But you should know the way I trade. Now it goes up 0.5 point. They'll be giddy. I'll be running. Oh, but really, when I have the options account and I don't see the positions in front of me, it gives them, a better chance of matriculating. You know what I mean? And developing and working. If I lose $50,000 worth of options in BGS, that won't cripple me as much as if I have 200,000 if something happens and it goes down $1. You know what I mean? And so I wouldn't watch it that way. There's my answer. You get it? The only problem with Zoom, Lewis, what's the problem with Zoom at this moment? Actually, it's not a problem. But you bring up Zoom. Oh, man, look at this. I haven't seen calls yet, but you know what? Yeah. This is what you see the Zoom. First of all, algos are meant to inflict pain. And good students are inflected to do the right things. It's only day trade, day trade. Traders like me in the middle to make it hard. This is everything you want. Every moving averages is on the rise. A huge relative strength, barely pulled back. It's a shorted stock. Hence, go to TradeGateHub and look at the heavily shorted stock or the skew. Now, I always say that it's a $95 stock. Usually, if I see a stock that's $9.52, it usually hits 10. I usually probably go to 100. More likely than not. That's what I think about that. Oh, here you go, Lewis. I'm telling you, they're going into GLD more than silver. HIM's bullish. We'll get into HIM's later. Well, hold on a second. What are they doing at the HIM's? Feb calls 44,000. I don't like it. I could do that. HIM's bullish. February. What's this? February 113th. This is not 33,000, 100,000. Nothing. People are buried in this thing. Core weave. There's the wolf. Little. See, I dissertated about the wolf. One of the first things. You're probably not going to. Needs time. Stock did move. It's not. Listen, I always say it's not where the stock's been. It's where it's going. This needs time. Semis and software, both up today. Okay, let's get down to business. Let's check a couple of stocks before I get to the big board and get distracted and go off on 1,000 tangents and actually forget what I'm saying. But let's look at some other ones. PDD taking calls from last week. It's going to take time. Those of you that know it, get to know it. JP and the boys, JP Morgan, still taking calls, acting well, everything you wanted. VRT, AEM, Coke. There's the profit taking me for earnings tomorrow, I believe. Peggy Sue, yes, I'm an investor. I don't have much. I'll show you the board in a second. Any other questions? Miss Sherry? Pulse. Oh my God. Gino. I don't even know if you want to bring these things up to me anymore. You like the double dog dare kids when they try to make me stick my tongue on the pole. And I thought sometimes I do to stick my tongue on the pole. And this is one of those situations. Pulse. Wow. Got to write it down. No. NKLR. No. No. Good call, though. I get it. Not bad. Not bad. That's a combination of a JNorm stock. It's got, listen, this is what I always say, Sherry. Why do you ask? Talk to me. This stock is what they prefer. Well, it's obviously a SPAC. It's got it in it. Not bad. It's got it in it. It does have it in it. Not bad. No, but no calls. I didn't see that yet. I'll let you know. Okay, earnings. I'm going to wrap it up soon. You're yelling at me. I suppose that the first 15 minutes, everybody loses their attention. All right, come on. All right, noted, Share. Why I mean, you have a broad universe. You're in things from VFC to SCI to all the good ones. Where did your idea come from? And that will maybe give an indication of what your parameters are. AMPX is good, Lewis. Very good. That's in the back of my head. I can't get it out of the back of my head. Coca-Cola before the open. Spotify before the open. D-Dog before the open. I wouldn't touch that with Lewis's money. Coach gets mad at me when I joke and say him. CVS. Kramer says back up the truck. Not kidding. Not doing it. But it will have an $8 range tomorrow morning. I'm not one of the guys that's trading it. It will. CVS. Oscar has earnings in the morning. I sold it. It did take some time, but if that pulled a reversal, that worked. Oscar has earnings heavily. That might be another one that if it's got like a HIMS vibe to it. It actually should go with UNH and all the other guys. But that Oscar, it's got a vibe. It's got like a HIM vibe. That's going to be a good one to trade post the earnings. Lewis, that might be something for you, Oscar. This Oscar, is it what? Before the Oh, it's before the open. I wish it was after the close. Oscar Madison. Oscar the Grouch. See, whatever generation you for, we have a analogy. Okay, let's get the 5 near the high of the day. You know what? This FIVE, all the bigger guys, they have this, and I'm not in it, and they still like it. 5 below, retailer. But what did I just say? The common road, besides it breaking high, retailer, 5 below. All right, let's go to the board. I'm gonna leave off, put some trades on, take some final questions on the YouTube, so everybody can go do their. Oh, it's 3:22. I'm not that bad. Common road. Sharing. Somewhere, someone else. News on it today. Someone else. You're cheating on me. Already, we got this far. Someone else. We got this far. Oh, that's right, Cherry. All right. That type of relationship. I've been in those type. It's a good idea. Goodyear Tires earnings. Okay, let's go to the board. You don't like the store? 5 below, it's cheap. They sell hula hoops. They sell hula hoops and like inflatable blue sharks. They do. EWZ, what's with this freaking thing in the back of my head? Boom, boom. What's wrong with this? All right, everyone. And then I will go to the board. I'll stop making it. I'll stop being redundant. Hold on. I'll stop. What about this one? Calls. Boom. Bombs. Bombs. EWZ, Brazil. Is this a take? All right, let's go. You ready? Let's see where my positions are done. Oh my God. Wix. Did I give you Wix? I gave you Wix. I also gave you ADM. See this ADM? Breaking high into the close. All right, that's one. Write them down, guys. I'm serious. I don't mean to be cheesy. Write them down. You have to be in them. What took the calls? Futures are coming in rapidly. Something. The spies are coming in, but the market is. Oh, that's not coming in. What am I talking about? You know what's coming in? 3M. 3M down $3. My God, there it is. Freaking only 3 days up, 1 to 4 days up. 3M, 151 to 171, and it's down. So that's what you want. Listen, that's what you want. Service now. Whoa, whoa. This ARBE at 174,000. I'm not even going to say buy my pain, but I'm going to tell you. Hold on. For those that know me, for those that don't, you don't even have to know me. Trust me from what I say going forward. The Jesus feed, not what Coach says, not what I say, not what the Brownie Elf thinks. ARBE calls. It's a robotic stock. Yes. Taking calls still. You never want it when it happens. All of a sudden, that's what you call. That's what. If you know what happened last week, it really was an unwind of everybody getting stopped out. I sold this CMPS. They make psychedelic mushrooms. That's not for me, believe me. I'm the type that would jump off the building and freak out. Took calls. I got in it. It's in the MSOS thing. And it finally, 3 days ago, was 570. I have a lot of it. And then it got right up to see that 671, if you can see that? And I did the right thing. I sold 10,000. At ATM. Sim. Want to see this story in Sim? Just bear with me. It's worth a lesson. Sold Sim. 54. 6,000 shares Sim on Friday. $10 higher. So the stock is held the moving averages. Futures are coming in. Sorry, Sherry, I'm short a little PL. I'll tell you what's not coming in the rest of the stocks. SPYs are pulling back. Now what's pulling back? Not a lot. HL going higher into the close. That's taking calls. Okay, let's look at the following. ETHA, we let off taking calls. WPM as well, probably near the high of the day. IBRX, CRWV, ADM, Exxon, not suggested. It is what it is. DNN, the cheapies, not for me. EWZ, Coach, he's the smart one. That's up to him. IBRX, that's up to J-Norm. He's the spec one. All right, if you didn't make it, almost feels like a Friday afternoon. If you didn't make it now, everybody relax. We'll see what happens. Okay. Let's give the final Jesus dissertation. I can't give too much, but if it's don't listen to me or Coach, final afternoon, pretty quiet. A few repeats with sweepers catching some size. What does he mean by that one? Probably like a Wolf, an Exxon, an EWZ, a Heckler Mining, and a little bit of squeeze flowing down a little bit messy. All right, you got this far, chill out. All right, chill. Cheers.